Hi everyone, this is Steve Johnson, and this is the fourth EdCamp webinar that we'll be going through in this video. If you want to see webinars part 1, 2, and 3, make sure you check out Teachers Lounge on the EdCamp resources page. Right now we're going to go over Google Drawings. So this is something that teachers are finding a lot of success with as far as students being able to fill out PDFs and other worksheets that teachers have either scanned in or copied and pasted within Google Drawings. So the way that you access Google Drawings is you go to your Google Drive and you click on New, and then go ahead and hover over More, and then you'll see that Google Drawings is the last choice that you can pick. So I'm going to click on Google Drawings. A new window opens up, and just like other apps such as Docs and Slides, I title the drawing up here by clicking on it. I'll just call this Practice. Okay, so you can see that you have this big empty space that you can put images in. Let's say that I have a worksheet, and I have the worksheet on my computer, and right here I have ELA worksheet, and I want to put this in Google Drawing. So I'm going to take this file, I'm going to go ahead and bring it over here, and I'm going to drop it. You can see that this graphic organizer worksheet has now appeared in Google Drawing. I can click on it, I can move it around different places, I can resize it and make it a little bigger. This is something, let's say it's a graphic organizer you've always enjoyed using and you still want to use it even with the computers. That's totally fine, you can do that. So my graphic organizer worksheet is now in Google Drawing, and you can see that if you were to send this out to students, when I click on it, I can't start typing on it right away. There's one thing I need to do. I need to create a text box, and what you do is you go to this icon. When I hover over it, it says text box. I'm going to click on that, and now the cursor turns into this X or cross, and I can go ahead and click and drag and make a box just like that. So I can put my name, and the students could do this too. So I put my name, and I'm going to click the text box again, and when I taught 7th grade, one of the books we used was Freak the Mighty. So I'll type in Freak the Mighty, and I'll underline it too. It's the name of a novel. And then, once students do these two things, they can create text boxes here and start typing like what happens at the beginning of the novel. In the beginning of the novel, comma, dot, dot, dot. They can also do that for the middle. In the middle of the novel. And then, you can have the students type in the end just by clicking the text box again and creating another box. At the end of the novel, and so you can see how this is really powerful because you can take PDFs and put them in here with spaces or boxes or lines that you want the students to type on, and the students can just do that by clicking on a text box and putting it in the space. So it's kind of like a PDF editor, but really, really easy to use. You can also see that if students wanted to, they could insert shapes, and you can make different shapes here. You can change the color to whatever you want, and so Google Drawing does exactly that. You can make shapes on top of other shapes. If I want to insert another shape, I could do let's do a square now. And then I can make that color red. So students can make different things within Google Drawings. You can use it. I'm just highlighting these and deleting them. You can use it to create PDFs that students can actually edit by putting in text boxes. And there's a lot of other things you can do if you want to give it the time and just be as creative as you want. So Google Drawings is definitely a great app to use within Google Apps for Education. And the other one I'd like to go over in this tutorial is Google Forms. So the next thing that we'll cover in EdCamp is Google Forms. Now you can think of Google Forms as a survey. That's all it really is. Google Forms is a survey where you can collect student information or even other teacher information. Some teachers use it as a test. You can create tests within Google Forms and collect the students' answers. That would be a little bit more of an advanced way of using it. But the way that you get to Google Forms is you go back to your Google Drive and you click on New. And just like going to Drawings, you have to go down to More, hover over More, and then you can select Google Forms. So here's what a Google Form looks like. Now, I'm going to call this a practice form. And you can see when I put practice form here, practice form showed up right here as well. I could have named it practice form here, but I decided to name it practice form right here. I can give this form a description. This is a practice form. And now I can create questions. So I have one question right now. Right now it's going to require a PBVUSD login to view this form. I can make it so that whoever is going to fill out this form or survey, their username will be collected. I can show a progress bar at the bottom of the page. This is for a long form. You'd probably want to do this. If it's a short one, which this one will be, I don't really need to do it. I can allow one response per person. If this is a test, I could shuffle the question order. So if students are sitting right next to each other, that might be something that you'd want to check. I can also, on the confirmation page, show a link so that the person who responded could submit another response. I could publish and show a public link to the results from this form if I wanted to. And I could allow responders to edit their responses after they click submit. I'm not going to check on any of those right now. But let's go ahead and look at how do you create a question within Google Forms. Well, let's just go ahead and do a simple question like what is 1 plus 1? Okay, that's the question. Now, I can give help, right? I can give a little hint on how to answer a question, whether it's math or maybe you're just collecting information from teachers and you want them to know a little bit more about the question, like kind of give a little bit of a clarification for what your question is. You could put that in the help text box right here. Now, it defaults to multiple choice, and but there's a lot of other choices you can have too. You can have it so that a student or teacher or whomever, that person would enter text, or if you want them to be able to, enter a longer answer, you can make that a paragraph text. When I make it text, their answer would probably be a short answer. It shows up there. Paragraph text would give them a longer place to give a response. Multiple choice, which is what I'd probably use for what is 1 plus 1. I'm going to go ahead and use that in a little bit, but I'll show you some of the other options that you have. Checkboxes. This would be just, you can check multiple things, multiple answers if you want. Choose from a list. This is a drop-down list. I'll show you in the finished form what that looks like, but you can also put a drop-down list in. Scale, a grid, you can put in date, and you can put in a time. So those are some of the different things you can do. I'm gonna click on multiple choice right now. And so what is 1 plus 1? Is it 1? I'm gonna click on this right here. Is it 2? I'm gonna put another option, so I'm gonna click right here again. Is it 3? Or is it 4? Now, it says add other right here. I could click on add other, and then they can put in an answer that might not be given for the 1, 2, 3, or 4. So I'll leave that there so you can see it. And I can make this a required question. This means that the person would not be able to submit their form without answering this. So it works out well just to make sure that no one submits a form and making sure they don't miss one of the questions. When I click on done, I now have one question within my Google form. So I want to see what this looks like when when someone actually is going to fill it out. And by doing that, I can click on View Live Form. So I'm going to click on View Live Form. And here's what it'll look like. So if someone logs into their Google Apps for Education account within our Panama Buena Vista Union School District domain, it would say their username right now. It would ask, what is 1 plus 1? It gives them the option of 1, 2, 3, 4. They could click 2, right, and then click Submit, and it would submit their answer. I can X out of the view of the live form, leave this page, and look at the kind of the back side of the Google form again. So let's go ahead and add another item. Let's go ahead and say, what is your favorite subject? Now, we had multiple choice before. This was a multiple choice question, but let's go ahead and let's make it a checkbox. So let's say ELA, math, science, and history. Let's make it a required question. So I'm going to click done. Okay, what is your favorite subject? Let's look at the live form here. I'm going to go ahead and click on view live form. And these are radio buttons, so you can only pick one, but here I could have multiple because these are checkboxes. So I could click all of them if I wanted to.